This idea came about as a result of an organization I joined, which is the JCs, which is short for Junior Chamber of Commerce, which has nothing to do with the Junior Chamber of Commerce. However, it is a dynamic organization for young men. It was between the age of 18 and 36, and after that you're gone. So one of the things in this organization, you're required to do a good project, a substantial project. So I says, okay, I'll build a youth center. I first started as a youth center study. And so we did a study, and they said, yes, there's a need for a building-centered program in the community. So I said, well, I kind of like the boys club just starting out in Woburn. And so I decided that it would be a boys club. So we got a hold of Boys Clubs of America. In '62, I called Boys Clubs of America, and they sent Edgar Rylander, who was the regional director, and he came out and we sat down and talked, and then he says, now you got to get a committee together. I got the committee together, but no one was willing to serve as chair, so I was the chair, and we conducted a search for a building. Well, it's very difficult to find a site, especially one that you can get at a low cost, something we could afford. We scouted around, and different people on the committee said, well, why not go down Recreation Park and use that piece of land down there? And so we asked about it, asked the selectmen, asked the Board of Public Works, asked the school, and they said, absolutely not. We're going to build a parking lot there for the overflow crowd at events at the field. So we just kind of struggled with finding something. And then one day, hey, did you hear? They're building a new school, and they're going to have playing fields and everything at it. So we went back to the school committee, and they says, we have no interest in it now. We have a campus here. So we went to the Board of Public Works, and they said, no, you can't have it. And that was all. There was no debate or anything. It was just, no, you can't have it. Went to the selectmen, and they said, well, what did the Board of Public Works say? And I said, they said no. Well, they're in charge of the land. You'll have to go through them. Okay. We had some great guys that I worked with, and sadly they're no longer here. But Dave Brown was an insurance realtor, and he knew the guys on the Board of Public Works, so he says, let me work on these guys. So one night he says, hey, come to dinner with me. And all of a sudden he's picking up other guys, and there happened to be the Board of Public Works. So we went and had dinner, and then he opened the meeting up, and he says, this guy wants to build a boys club, and the only thing in their way is you three guys. And so they hemmed and hawed, and after a while they agreed that, yes, we'll let you have the land. So basically that's how we got the land. And we went to town meeting. We were going to pay $3,200 for the land. So all of a sudden, Dave Brown stands up and said, Mr. Moderator, I move that this article be amended from $3,200 down to $1. And so there we are now. We got the land. The vote was unanimous pretty near. In fact, it may have been. And that's it. We got the land. So we hired Hogan Winters, a professional fundraising agency, and they come out and did a study of the town, and they said, we can raise some money here. From there, we started organizing these various subcommittees, which were the major trust funds, major donations from people that had plenty to share. And we went right down to the $300 over a period of 3 years. And then they had the neighborhood drive, which was $120 over 3 years. Now, that was a generous donation for a working class person, considering the salaries at the time. And we were just more concerned about how many blue-collar people are we going to get to support this drive? Are we going to get enough? Residential drive was way above. And I think it was a lot had to do with people liked the idea of having a safe place for their children to go. We started fundraising. We hired Pat O'Donnell, and we hired him before so that he could work and help with the fund drive. Hire the people that we needed for staff. As you know, many of you know that this building is often criticized as having little corners where you have to duck your head when you walk through the room and things of that nature. That is anything but true. As a matter of fact, we have less corridors in this building than most buildings that you would see. And of course, buildings are built for their use. If it's a school, it's built a certain way. If it's a hospital, it's built another way. And if it's a boys' club, it's built yet another way. So one of the things we have in boys' club is control, naturally. We don't want anybody going off and going in a dark room or sneaking out a side door or something. So it's important to have control. Well, the corridors in this building make up a very small percentage of the entire coverage. So it is a unique building, and I think it's unique for this site, and it served the purpose. I worked very, very hard for 10 years to get this thing started, but there were so many great people around me that came through when I hit a stone wall, and they resolved the problem. And so it's nice to be recognized as the guy that built the boys' club, so to speak, the founder. But it's also nice to look back and think about the wonderful people that were there for me and for the community that made this possible. It was just bubbling and there was so many people here. We had a ribbon cutting ceremony, and we had some refreshments, and it was very exciting. And then, to top it all off, we had so many members join up. And I thought, I think I'm going to have my kids be the first ones to sign up, And so I signed all the kids up. One of the things I'd like to say is I can never thank the original parents that went knocking door to door and wouldn't take no for an answer, and basically built this club. The fact of the matter is, in my figures, it's about 3 generations ago. And so those babies that were in the baby carriage when the first team went out collecting grew up, had their children come here. They came, then their children came, and now their great-great-grandchildren are coming. So we kind of have had 3 generations of members and only 1 fund drive. And one of the things that we relied on in the early days was the bingo game, which covered about 90% of the cost of running a club. My suggestion is that if you like what you see, maybe you could help us keep things rolling along here. We have a wonderful facility. We have things that some children don't have in their own home. We're able to offer them computers to use. We have a wonderful tech center, a wonderful director of the tech center, and it's a place where youngsters that don't have a computer at home. And one of the things that we have to stop and really use our brain to think about the fact that because we have 3 or 2 or 4 or 5 computers in our home, there are homes where they just can't afford a computer. So simply offering a computer to a kid is a great service. A lot of parents today are working, 2 parents working, and the child has no place to go after school. We provide a safe, healthy environment for them to come to. And our staff is very well qualified and just does a wonderful job. And if your kid is in the club, you ask him and they'll tell you how much he loves his director or his various people that are assisting him in the club. You find out that they really have a high regard, and we do too as board members. So I would just say next time you get a letter in the mail asking you for a pledge or a donation, that you think about it. Think about how much we do for the community and how lucky as a community we are to have this Boys and Girls Club today.